What's going on, guys? It's your boy Slick. We're back again with another video. I know it's been a little while and I've been pretty stale on the content. Not stale, I just haven't been posting. And there's definitely a reason for that. It's because War Thunder is pretty annoying to play right now. I'm getting very burnt out, so I've just kind of been taking a break from it. I'm still doing the event, and even doing the event every day or every 2 days is just becoming such a task to complete. And it's not even that the event itself is bad. It's just there's a lot of problems. All right, there's a lot of problems, and there's a lot of issues going on right now, right? We all know this. All these videos have come out. I made my own video, Spit made a video, Orange made a video. I think even Mike made a video just talking about the problems with War Thunder right now and what we want. So there's clearly a community outcry. And instead of Gaijin accepting that there's a community outcry and not catering to us, but at least acknowledging that we've made videos and that there is an issue and that they're going to do their best to fix it, they released a dev blog talking about the Lynx, like another premium helicopter that's just going to get owned by the ADATs. And instead of BR decompression and talking about things that they're going to do to decompress BRs, they removed the Mouse, the Panther 2, and the Tiger 105 from the game, or they're going to. And it's kind of just like, if that's how they're going to handle these issues and the way that, we're talking, I don't know if I really want to be a part of it too much anymore. That doesn't mean I don't like this game a lot. I mean, I've said this in countless videos. I really do like War Thunder. I enjoy it a lot, but currently it's just getting stale for me, getting really stale. For example, today, one of the tasks for the event for your marks of distinction is either caps or wins, right? And I decided, caps isn't too bad. You get 15 caps in a game. We were playing 5-3 America. There's got to be some type of algorithm to make these tasks longer, because we've been getting single caps in battles more often today than I have seen in fucking years. I mean, I think we got about 10 games of single caps and about 3 or 4 battles today out of maybe 20 games. And that's just a little ridiculous. More than half the games involve 1 to no caps, where your mark of distinction requires you to get caps to a certain extent if you choose to do that. The other way would be assists or wins, because the kills are the easiest part. Like getting 45 kills, which is actually less if you play RB, and what is it? I think 6 in one game for RB. That's like an easy task for me to do. It's the same thing with the planes. The kills are the easiest part. Then you have to get assists, and assists in planes are pretty easy, but the caps or the assists in tanks is just kind of like, you can't really do that. You can't, it's more of a luck-based thing unless you rush cap. And when you don't get 3 cap maps, it's like, well, how am I going to do this event, dude? I gotta, and it leads to some of the shittiest gameplay ever, because everybody wants these events and everybody wants these vehicles, and I understand that. So they're just going to go rush cap and not care about the rest of the team or not do anything for the rest of the team. They're trying to get the cap, they're trying to hop into plane, they're trying to bomb shit. I understand it, but it just kind of promotes this shitty activity. But that's not why I'm here to talk today. You guys clicked on this video. I want to talk a little bit about ARB and what's kind of been killing it for me in ARB. So I'm not the same as everybody, in my opinion, on this, right? My opinion, or what I enjoy, I should say, is I like dogfights. I like fighter-on-fighter combat. I think it's really fun. And I like ARB. But ARB as it sits now and how it has sat for like the past, since it's been pretty much, made up, right? Since it's been made, involves you climbing for about 5 minutes. So if you sit in a queue, because not a lot of people are playing ARB, for like 4 or 5 minutes, so you sit in a 4-minute queue, you spawn into a game, you take off from your airfield, you spend 5 to 6 minutes climbing, and then there's a potential you just die without doing anything. And that's a 10-minute waste of time, pretty much. And that's like my big issue with ARB right now, is you could have a 10-minute to 11 to 15-minute even sometimes wait time just to die, to hopefully get the opportunity to do it again. And it's kind of ridiculous, because we want to play the game. That's about it, right? You want to play the game. That's why we're all here, I'd hope. And there will be those people who say, well, you just play ARB, or ARAB. But it's way different. AB is not the type of combat I enjoy. Now, you can still get really good air matches, right? You can get really, really fun matches. The potential is still there, and the game mode isn't broken. It's just, I think it's become so stale at this point where it needs some type of change to make it better. And those changes just haven't come. I mean, it's hard to nail down one thing, but I do honestly think there should be some type of fighter only mode. And I think these plane events like Flight of the Swallows, I mention this every single time I talk about ARB, should come back. I miss those modes. I remember having fun on North Korea, the Korean mode with the jets, but they took the F2 out of that event last time it was there, which kind of makes the event not really worth it because in my opinion, I think the MiG-15 BIS and the F2 are pretty on par with each other. I think that they handle pretty well. They could fight each other perfectly fine, but instead we get a Korean event where you don't even get the F-25 or the F2. You have to do an A5 versus MiG-15 BIS. So, it just doesn't work. It ends up not working. It ends up not being fun, and it makes that event not fun to play. Not the event we wanted, right? Flight of the Swallows, while it was sometimes one-sided, if you don't know what this event is, it's from a long time ago. It was allies in P-51s defending B-17s from 262s. And it sounds great on paper. Obviously, 262s are pretty good. But if you're a good pilot, you can make the 51 perform better in a turn fight than the 262. It's a really good plane, too. So, they can fight each other. And it's definitely a more historical game mode. So, I think events need to come back. I think there needs to be more air battle games where it's you get an air spawn. You don't have to deal with all that climbing. I don't understand why we don't have a game mode where we just get put at altitude at 5K, because that's pretty much how high you'd fly anyway, or fight anyway. If everybody just spawned at 5K, maybe 20 kilometers away from each other and flying directly at each other, I think that'd be great. I think it'd probably make for a better dogfight up high, and then some of the guys who want to go ground pound could probably dip down low and kind of stay under the shadows and still get their bombs in. But I think we're long overdue for an air dogfight mode with no bombers, nothing like that. Just purely for the air purists who want to dogfight. Maybe less people in the match, maybe a 6-on-6 or something like that, where it's just straight to the action, fast. You don't have to wait too long in queues. Maybe give people preset planes. I don't know. But ARB as it stands is a little stale. Now, on top of that, Jet ARB, this is where the real problem lies. And I know you guys who play Jet ARB know that the matchmaker for that is just absolutely garbage. I mentioned this in my last video. I talked a little bit about Jet ARB. And somebody was like, yeah, it's been a long time since anybody's even mentioned that the matchmaker's completely borked. And it is. If you're playing Italy, you only fight against Italy, Germany, and Russia. And I don't get it. I don't get it. We went from having lineups with unique planes, right? So the Sabre, if you wanted a Sabre, you had to play America to get the Sabre. Now there's a Sabre for Japan, there's a Sabre for Germany, there's a Sabre for America, and everybody has a Sabre. Right? Everybody gets to fly around in the Sabre. And for Russia used to be the only people with a MiG. Now there's a MiG for Germany, but there's no other Eastern Germany tanks, which is weird. And it would make more sense if there was Eastern Europe tanks too, or Eastern Germany tanks too, like a T-55 for Germany would be sick. I think that'd be a good addition. But instead of that, we just get the MiG, and the MiGs have to fight the other MiGs. And then, every nation has a copy and paste premium of of the planes that it's known for. So when you get into these jet matches, you're not fighting against a team. It doesn't make a American-Russia game where you can fight on Korea against each other. It makes these games that are just basically mixed battles at top tier. I don't know about you guys, but if I wanted to play a mixed battle, I would probably just go play arcade. I think that's the whole point. The realistic battle is I want to fight a realistic match with planes that should be fighting each other. And I think that's just kind of my biggest issue with Jet RB right now. I used to love flying jets. I used to love, flying my F2 against planes that should have fought against and becoming better at dealing with them. But now it's the mix of teams makes it so your plane's advantage doesn't really work because there's a ton of planes in the other team that have the same exact advantages and the same disadvantages as you. And it becomes less about being good with your plane and more about being lucky with who wants to jump on your 6. And that's kind of my spiel for today. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any idea or any ideas for ARB and what we could do to fix it, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd like to make it a nice discussion. And as always, it's been your boy Slick. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.